What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And well, if you're stopping by for the first time, it's great to have you. Definitely consider tapping that subscribe button if you like what you see. So today's game plan, ladies and gentlemen, is to break open a box of McGoy's parts that are pretty exclusive right now. I have in this box one of the first few sets that have gone out to customers, and I consider myself super lucky for that. So we're gonna be opening that box up today, and while talking about the parts that are inside, and then we're gonna install them on my 2020 Denali DURTYMAX HD. This is a long overdue modification, and I'm super excited about it. Now, we've got a lot of projects going on this channel right now, so I just wanted to take a small moment of your time to give you all just a quick little Cliff Notes update as to everything going on. Update number one is about all these boxes that are right here. There's a lot of really awesome performance parts that are in those boxes that are gonna be married to that truck in just a few days. The compound turbo build is right around the corner, so if you guys are excited about that, definitely mash that thumbs up button. So that was update number one. Update number two is about the black Denali that's currently not here right now. And it's down at Peach Bottom Auto Body getting prepped for paint work. So now we haven't had that much content on that truck as we haven't had too much specifically going on with it, but a lot of content is underway very soon. So if you guys are excited about that, stay tuned. I've gotten a lot of questions about it lately, which is kind of why I'm making this small update. Update number three is, well, I've got some really big projects that are about to get announced probably sometime mid-March. I unfortunately at this point in time can't go into details about all of that information yet, but it's something that I feel like you guys are gonna be really excited about, and believe me, I am thrilled to make this announcement, and it's kind of killing me to hold back information, so stay tuned for that. All right, so I told you guys it was gonna be a quick little Cliff Notes version. That's all I wanted to review. Let's get that box loaded in that truck and over to my shop. I'm actually completely kidding. I gotta get you guys a quick little sound clip of this 5.9 with the stack, because to be honest with you, when I installed this, I kind of wasn't completely sold on it until I heard it, and now I'm absolutely in love. Listen to this thing, guys. I wanted to give you guys a small little tease as to what's going to be in store. It's crazy to think that that truck is on a completely stock tune right now and a stock third gen manifold. Imagine how it's going to sound with two massive turbos. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome.
Pray we make it through the night. Oh, we make it through the night. You can see it when you look into my eyes. When you look into my eyes, you can see that I grind all day. Like I'm going my way.
And our last to-do list for an update for you guys is this giveaway ends Thursday, February 13th, which is when this video is going live. So my procrastination panel of people, this is your final warning if you're catching this video on that last day. Well, guys, one of you is going to be taking that thing home very, very soon. Amps on amps on amps. But seriously, guys, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so don't miss up on the opportunity for you to get your chances to take that truck home, because, well, it might be you very soon. Very sorry about a little bit of noise background that might come through in the audio. We are trying to get our shop space a little bit toasted up here because it is quite a chilly day today. For the time being, I am going to turn it all off, but when we're filming a little bit later in the video, it might be running, just because I hate working in the absolute freezing cold. I think a lot of you guys catch my drift on that. Also, just want to let you guys know that the new enthusiast banners are actually live on the site. A lot of you guys have been asking when the original Blow Money Well Wasted, and then of course just the straight up OG enthusiast banners are gonna come back. We will be doing a promotion where we bring them back later in the year, but currently that is our new one. It's kind of like those cool bar-themed lights on a brick wall. I thought it was really neat, just changing it up a little bit with my design team for all of you guys. So those are available. Everything is limited quantity though, so first come, first serve on that kind of stuff. So just an FYI, because I always get your messages where you're like, yo, I wanted one of those, but I didn't grab it in time, and guys, I'm sorry. So today, as I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, we're gonna be pulling the stock upper control arms off of the 2020 Denali and replacing them with a pretty brand new to the market set of McGoy's upper control arms. So what we're looking at here is actually very simple. We've got a set of the Mergoy's leveling keys. We've got our, of course, bushings, and then we've got our sleeves for the middle. We've got some of our hardware, and then straight up their upper control arms. It's that simple. So this is made by Mergoy's, and this is one of their first pre-production kits that was sent out to me because they wanted me to give it a shot. Now, I know a lot of you guys know that Gavin Simon, aka It's Just a Six, is a great friend of mine. He happened to also pick up a 2020 AT4 DURTYMAX, and he also just installed a set of these on his truck. So if you caught that video, that's basically what we're gonna be doing today. If you hadn't, no worries, sit back and enjoy the video. I'm very excited about this modification for one primary reason, and that's ride quality. So right now, the front of my Denali actually sits a little bit higher than the rear of my Denali due to the fact that I went ahead and cranked up these torsion keys basically as high as I possibly could in order to clear this big old wheel and tire setup. So for those of you guys curious, I'm not trying to mention this in every single one of my videos, but I do get a lot of questions about the setup on this truck. It is just leveled right now on its factory keys, cranked pretty much all of the way in, which then pushed all of the suspension down in the front end to clear these 24x14 Flux American Force wheels wrapped in a 33, 14.5, 24 Fury Off-Road Country Hunter MT. But the major problem is this. The ride quality has not been great since we did this modification. It was just a short-term thing where I wanted to get, I don't know why that just turned off, here we go. Added clearance in the front end to create more gappage for this wheel and tire, but the ride quality has really suffered as a result of that. So you can see this tiny little gap. I guess we need new batteries or something. I thought this was a cool flashlight. For actual use, deactivate the demo mode by removing battery tray for 5 seconds to place back in. Hang tight. So I gotta get you, is this it? No, here we go. Move battery for 5 seconds and then put it back in. Okay. See if this thing stays on more than a few seconds. We good? We good? We good? All right, we're out of demo mode. See, that's the problem, guys. So I gotta read my instructions more. So like I was saying, right now, the factory control arms have next to no gap between the bump stop here in the bottom and then the actual arm itself. And that is going to be alleviated by doing the modification that we're doing today. Now, granted, we're gonna bling up this whole area here with, of course, that nice fabrication by Mergoy's, but we're not gonna get any additional height out of this. Rather, it's gonna be purely comfort benefit that reaps for the overall driving experience of the truck, because right now, to describe it in a simple word, it's just not good. The ride quality has dramatically suffered as a consequence of trying to basically clear that wheel and tire. And I'm really glad that we did it, but I'm even happier that a company like Mergoy's has come out with a solution to look good, but also feel good behind the wheel. I really love how simple this control arm is. They've got their bolted on little badges here on the front. There's their emblem. And then they've kind of got this complement side. It gives it like a very industrial and kind of complementary theme. And then of course, just all black powder coating with their pressed in bushing to keep it very simple. Now I'm gonna pull the factory one off and I wanna show you guys the real big difference between that control arm and this control arm here. So let's get to work, guys. We've got a little bit of work to do. Got to jack up the front ends, got to pull both wheels off. I'm gonna do that all at the same time. And then we can just jump right in. We're gonna take some of the tension off of the torsion keys themselves and then basically pop that upper control arm out, throw the new one in, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Now, before I do that, I am gonna grab a quick measurement just for reference purpose because I don't have all that much clearance, but I do have full turn right now. So I wanna make sure at least I'm able to get back to where we started. Top of the tire to the bottom of the over fender, we're looking at about, call it 10 3/4 inches. And on the passenger side, we are right at about, again, 10 3/4 inches. So let's keep that number in mind. Maybe I'll have to play this back just to remember, because sometimes I always feel like I forget those details.
Off the rapping, keep it on my body. I'm broke if you ask it. Don't gotta sell them Cialis flawless. Broken whips as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's an ass if she isn't gorgeous? Live my life last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest. Do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, did it like the Porsche's coming in.
Okay guys, so we've got the wheels off and they're placed over there. Again, sorry about the background noise, just trying to get things a little bit more comfortable in the shop. What's nice is we're dealing with a very fresh foundation. This thing's only got 8,500 miles on it and we're already pulling the suspension apart. But let's just take a minute to appreciate how beautifully consistent and fresh all of that oh so notorious GM undercoating is. You can see right here, it's already even starting to wear off. One of my biggest pet peeves about these trucks, to be completely honest. But long story short, we're not here to talk about the coating. We're rather here to talk about how fresh these calipers are. No, I'm just kidding, guys, but I'm getting distracted. It's all so clean. You got to embrace it while you can. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be jumping up under the truck here in a second to alleviate all the pressure that's on the torsion bar that comes across and basically pushes all of this stuff down. But right now is a really good extreme example of how this upper control arm is resting 100% 100% on the bump stop. Now, of course, that's because everything is free floated and suspended, and of course, all the pressure is being pushed down. What we're gonna achieve is creating a little bit of gap between here, and in turn, that's gonna dramatically improve our ride quality because of how much travel will be available at the height that the truck was at when it came in the shop. Now, real quick, we have to get up underneath the truck to take the pressure off of the keys. Now, here are the keys right here. They're these really just crazy, completely steel pieces of metal that drive down that torsion bar right there that in turn pushes all that stuff down. When we take the pressure off of this, it's actually gonna lift all of that stuff up. It's kind of a little reverse relationship here. And you can see I've got that key pretty much completely sunk in 100% of the way to achieve the clearance that we needed to do what we were doing before. So let's take the pressure off this little guy right here. All it is a simple 21 millimeter, and you're gonna need an impact that has a good amount of power to it. So now we've got all the pressure out, and now this key is resting on its little rest plate right here. Now we actually have to pull this key out completely, and that's where the tool came in that we rented earlier. So this right here is a simple ball joint press from your local auto parts store. And I didn't open it the right way. So yeah, I should probably put all that back. All right, now that we are all cleaned up and ready to rock and roll, we basically just need this thing right here.
That's just the way we define it. Chase after mine, yeah. Give me my space, watch me in line. Pardon the tone, yeah. That's just the way. Try not to drown, fuck with the sound, yeah. Catch on the way, try not to drown, try not to drown.
All right, guys, we've got everything dismantled and we are cruising right to plan. It's really a simple process that only requires a few basic hand tools to get this done. So I would say that pretty much anybody that has minimal mechanical experience, just like yours truly, could get this done. Let me take you guys over here real quick and I'll show you the stock versus, well, what we're gonna be installing from McGaughy's. So I'm gonna take this stock key and I'm gonna set it right here next to the McGaughy's key, and you might be saying to yourself, well, dude, I don't see a difference. I don't really know what it is that you're trying to show me here. Well, it's kind of more than meets the eye. If you were to set these up in a line, the front of the key, to be exact, you'll actually see that there's some overlap inside. We'll do it backwards here just so you guys can see a little bit more. Right there, you'll see overlap, and not everything is perfectly lined up. So this key, if we did line it up specifically, will actually sit like that. So there's a little bit of a difference. And when that's in the truck, rather than sitting like this in its stock form, it's actually gonna sit like that when it's in its rest form, and that's gonna give you a little bit more ability to crank up without completely maxing out the front end components. So we've got that, and then we have the corresponding upper control arm. So I kinda gotta get down to show you guys what I'm talking about here, but if we set this one to the side, and we set the passenger one to the side, what you're gonna see is offset of the mounting location. So right where the bushing is on the factory upper control arm, the control arm actually mounts to the bushing right in the center. Whereas if we move over to the McGaughy's, actually the bushing and the upper control arm where they mount, it mounts to the top of the bushing rather than in the center. And that's what's gonna give us the added room in conjunction with the key that we're gonna throw in. And I'll explain how that kind of makes a difference once it's back in the truck, because it's gonna be way easier there. Now I gotta go ahead and get these bushings and these collars pressed in here real quick. Well, that was extremely easy. I love this stuff right here. It is a total lifesaver with squeezing, well, tight things into tight areas, if you catch my drift. So bushings are installed, grease fittings are installed. Then we have just a little bit of miscellaneous hardware for securing this upper ball joint to, of course, the front end knuckle casting. But we are gonna go ahead and toss in this key real quick. It'll make our lives just a little bit easier once we go to secure and tighten everything down for the final time. The only downside with doing this project is the torsion bars, I would say, because they're really the piece that's under the most tension, and they can create a little bit of a headache from time to time. I feel like we got pretty lucky on this side, so let that rest. Actually, we need that up in here. Actually gotta let it down a little bit. Okay, were we able to get it freehand or no? That doesn't look like we're gonna get that lucky. Have to work through all those lovely emission systems. Get this thing up in here. Through, nice. And then we can relieve the pressure. Nice. A little bit of leverage Goes a long way. Now the last piece of this puzzle here before complete reassembly is we need to put spacers in this shock so that way once these control arms are installed, we don't max it out because that will also be a huge detriment to our ride quality. So they provided these little spacers. They're about 1 inch thick and they will actually go right on the bolts of the shocks, but underneath the shock tower. And then they also provided new hardware that we might as well go ahead and use. It is a 17mm. I got a ratchet for one of those, which will make installation a little bit easier than your traditional standard wrench. But we need more leverage. Right, now we got the spacers on, and we just gotta put everything back together. Good to go there. We might need our secret sauce. And we can officially say, bye-bye alignment. It was bad before, it's gonna be really bad now. Dang, guys, check those out. They look so cool. I really like them. And they matched kind of the overall theme of this truck well. I was thinking maybe going white with black faces. That would have been cool, but everything up under here is very black and silver, so I felt like it was kind of incognito. So we got both sides all nice and completed. Now we just need to get the wheels back on, and then we need to make a few final adjustments, and this is really where everything comes together. Wow, tons of space, tons and tons of space. All right, so that probably looks a little wacky, huh? Yep, I would have to agree. That is because the bolts actually have camber plates on either side, and obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That is not straight up and down at all. And this side, it is so off. Oh my God, I don't know if y'all can tell right now. Oh my God, it's really bad. This whole wheel is out this way, and this whole wheel is out that way. It is so goofy looking. I don't even know if right now is a good time to get a measurement on this or not, but we should anyway, just to see kind of where we are. All right, we're at about 11.5 inches here. And on this side, well, now call it like 11 3/4 inches. That's actually a little bit more than I had anticipated, but I'm actually not going to make any other adjustments right now because in another video, we'll probably end up taking this over to E-Town Auto Works to get an alignment done on it. Basically, that's when we're gonna do all the fine tuning and all of that good stuff. Right now, it's not really even worth doing. But what is worth noting is how much space we now have up and under our control arms. Check out that, guys. So that adjusted mounting position makes all the world of difference. Now, of course, this thing's gonna drive not good at all right now because the wheel's probably gonna be cockeyed to the left or the right or whatever the case might be, but are you curious? Wonder how it drives. Let's go find out. All right, guys, now we're cruising, and I've been behind the wheel for literally 30 seconds, so I can't even really give you an honest opinion. But what I can be honest about is I love seeing me classics on the road. That is awesome, man. Young guy behind the wheel, too. Hell yeah. So, obviously, the camber is super out of whack, and it feels like the whole front end is just trying to fight itself just to go straight. But other than that, there are a few bumps on this road that we're about to go over literally in just about a second. It's gonna give me a very, very clear indication, being that I'm on this road all the time, as to how much those upper control arms honestly made in terms of a difference. So, here we go. Dang, this thing's like smooth again, guys. Feels really good. Yeah, initial impressions are great. Now, I'm definitely gonna have to circle back with you guys after we get the alignment and everything done, because right now I'm also super worried that, like, you know, I'm gonna turn and basically my wheel is gonna rip one of the mud flap extensions off, which wouldn't be good by any means. But driving very cautiously, it actually feels extremely good. What was happening before was basically the truck was just getting, like, I'm gonna call it bump steer. Being that there was no room in between that upper control arm and that bump stop, anytime you ever went over a bump, there was no travel for that control arm to go down. So you'd almost feel like you were jumping over things. Like legitimately there are some back roads out by me that I'll go over a bump driving the normal speed limit, and it literally feels like the front end gets air and then hops down and the wheel like goes all over the place. Not gonna lie, it is something that I'm not a fan of. It actually seems like super dangerous. And I wasn't a fan of that at all, but then at the same time, I also wasn't a fan of driving the stock truck. So compromise? Yeah, here's that bump. Oh man, guys, it is so plush. Right then and there, I love it again.
3 a.m., late night chillin'. I've been closed off, cause I like winning. Lot is going on, with a nice feeling. I keep going up, I don't like ceilings. Everybody love to talk, till I'm round and the yard gets soft. Yeah. Lately I've been screaming, fuck them all. Big buggin', think I trust him, no. Yeah.
Man, this thing looks incredible out here. I know it's absolutely filthy right now. I have to wash it, but it's been raining like every single day for the last week, and it's gonna rain this entire week coming up, so kind of sucks that we're gonna have to stay dirty for a little while. But long story short, guys, are these not the sickest things ever, or is it just me? I love the way that they look, and what's even cooler about it is you notice that gap between, well, the bottom of the bump stop there and the control arm is large. This is great. Truck drive's really weird right now, but again, alignment coming soon, and we're gonna have to figure out exactly where we want to end things for the time being. But ride quality, which was the focus of this upload, tremendous improvement. So McGoys, thank you guys so much for considering me for one of your pre-production models, and my feedback thus far is great job. This is something that's definitely needed for the guys that don't want to go super crazy sky high with their lifts. And I am very impressed not only with the overall fit and finish, but also the ease of installation. I am by no means the smartest or most efficient mechanic in the world, nor do I have any certifications to be a mechanic, but that was pretty simple, and it was fun. I like when things go together relatively easily. And this side almost looks like a little bit more level than the other side, but this side does rub for a fact right now. And guys, as you saw in the video that I posted earlier in the week, we are not gonna be doing a 7 to 9 inch lift kit, and I don't know exactly what we're gonna be doing quite yet in terms of getting this thing up, but for the time being, this is a great solution. That way I can enjoy driving my brand new Denali, which is very important. So guys, that's where I'm gonna wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. And lastly, guys, I gotta say thank you all so much for 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. Never did I ever think that YouTube would become what it has become in my life, but man, I'll tell you what, it has been the coolest thing, the greatest opportunity, and I'm just so grateful for each and every single one of you that decide to come back to watch these videos. It's crazy to think that I could feel so connected to all of you, and it's like my family. I mean, it's the coolest thing in the entire world, and I guess the only way to really sum it all up is just extremely grateful, to say the least. God, that thing is just so dirty. It's despicable. But anyway, my like league, I love you guys. Do your best. Tap that subscribe button if you haven't already, and grab some last minute entries if you still can before your window closes for blackjack, because very soon you might be getting the call to take that thing home. That being said, I'll see you on the next upload.
Came through dripping Aquafina, I'm sipping 15, kept a weapon on me. Blow make digits, I'm on my business, stack chicken like what it's gon' be. Crew in the cut, hey, you want us, spread run when I tell a bit peace. Love is love. Love is love.